Please like the video and share it so that it reaches many more people and you get sawaba, or rewards from Allah. This could be a sawabe jariyah or continuous reward for you long after you are gone.
Volume 3, Book 27, Number 15. Narrated by Al-Aswad. That Aisha said, O Allah's Apostle, the people are returning after performing the two nusuks, i.e. Hajj and Umrah, but I am returning with one only. He said, wait till you become clean from your menses and then go to At-Tanim. Assume Ihram, and after performing Umrah, join us at such and such a place. But it, i.e. the reward if Umrah, is according to your expenses or the hardship, which you will undergo while performing it. Volume 3, Book 27, Number 16. Narrated by Aisha. We set out assuming the Ihram for Hajj in the months of Hajj towards the sacred precincts of Hajj. We dismounted at Sarif and the Prophet said to his companions, whoever has not got the Hadi with him and likes to make it as Umrah, he should do it. But he who has got the Hadi with him should not do it. The Prophet and some of his wealthy companions had the Hadi with them, so they did not finish Ihram after performing the Umrah. The Prophet came to me while I was weeping. He asked me the reason for it. I replied, I have heard of what you have said to your companions and I cannot do the Umrah. He asked me, what is the matter with you? I replied, I am not praying. He said, there is no harm in it as you are one of the daughters of Adam and the same is written for you as for others. So, you should perform Hajj and I hope that Allah will enable you to perform the Umrah as well. So, I carried on till we departed from Mina and halted at Al-Muhasab. The Prophet called Abdur Rahman and said, go out of the sanctuary with your sister and let her assume Ihram for Umrah. And after both of you have finished the tawaf I will be waiting for you at this place. We came back at midnight and the Prophet asked us, have you finished? I replied in the affirmative. He announced the departure and the people set out for the journey and some of them had performed the tawaf of the Kaaba before the morning prayer, and after that the Prophet set out for Medina. Volume 3, Book 27, Number 17. Narrated by Safwan bin Ya'la bin Umayyah from his father who said, a man came to the Prophet while he was at Jirana. The man was wearing a cloak which had traces of kalik or sufra, a kind of perfume. The man asked the Prophet, what do you order me to perform in my Umrah? So, Allah inspired the Prophet divinely and he was screened by a place of cloth. I wished to see the Prophet being divinely inspired. Umar said to me, come, will you be pleased to look at the Prophet while Allah is inspiring him? I replied in the affirmative. Umar lifted one corner of the cloth and I looked at the Prophet who was snoring. The sub-narrator thought that he said, the snoring was like that of a camel. When that state was over, the Prophet asked, where is the questioner who asked about Umrah? Put off your cloak and wash away the traces of kalik from your body and clean the sufra, yellow color, and perform in your Umrah what you perform in your Hajj, i.e. the tawaf round the Kaaba and the Sahi between Safa and Marwa. Volume 3, Book 27, Number 18. Narrated by Hisham ibn Urwa from his father who said, while I was a youngster, I asked Aisha the wife of the Prophet, what about the meaning of the statement of Allah? Verily, the mountains, as Safa and Al-Marwa, are among the symbols of Allah. So, it is not harmful if those who perform Hajj or Umrah of the house, Kaaba at Mecca, to perform the going, tawaf, between them. 2.158. I understand, from that there is no harm if somebody does not perform the tawaf between them. Aisha replied, no, for if it were as you are saying, then the recitation would have been like this. It is not harmful not to perform tawaf between them. This verse was revealed in connection with the Ansar who used to assume the Ihram for the idol Manat. which was put beside a place called Qudid, and those people thought it not right to perform the tawaf of as-Safa and al-Marwa. When Islam came, they asked Allah's apostle about that, and Allah revealed, "Verily, the mountains, as-Safa and al-Marwa, are among the symbols of Allah. So, it is not harmful of those who perform Hajj or Umrah of the house, Kaaba at Mecca, to perform the going, tawaf, between them." 2.158, Sufyan and Abu Muawiyah added from Hisham, from Aisha, the Hajj or Umrah of the person who does not perform the going, tawaf, between as-Safa and al-Marwa is incomplete in Allah's sight. Volume 3, Book 27, Number 19. Narrated by Ismail. Abdullah bin Abu Awfa said, Allah's apostle performed Umrah and we too performed Umrah along with him. When he entered Mecca he performed the tawaf of Kaaba, and we too performed it along with him. And then he came to the as-Safa and al-Marwa, i.e. performed the Sa'i. And we also came to them along with him. We were shielding him from the people of Mecca lest they may hit him with an arrow. A friend of his asked him, i.e. Abdullah bin Awfa, did the Prophet enter the Kaaba during that Umrah? He replied in the negative. Then he said, what did he, the Prophet, say about Khadijah? He, Abdullah bin Awfa, said, he said, give Khadijah the good tidings that she will have a palace made of kasab in paradise and there will be neither noise nor any trouble in it. Volume 3, Book 27, Number 20. Narrated by Amr bin Dinar. We asked Ibn Umar whether a man who had performed the tawaf of the Kaaba but had not performed the tawaf between as-Safa and al-Marwa yet, was permitted to have sexual relation with his wife. He replied, the Prophet arrived at Mecca and circumambulated the Kaaba 7 times. And then offered a 2-rakat prayer behind Maqam el-Ibrahim and then performed the going, tawaf, between as-Safa and al-Marwa, 7 times, and verily, in Allah's apostle you have a good example. And we asked Jabir bin Abdullah the same question, and he replied, he should not go near her till he has finished the going, tawaf, between as-Safa and al-Marwa. Volume 3, Book 27, Number 21. Narrated by Abu Musa al-Ash'ari. I came to the Prophet at al-Batha, while his camel was kneeling down, and he asked me, have you intended to perform the Hajj? I replied in the affirmative. He asked me, with what intention have you assumed ihram? I replied, I have assumed ihram with the same intention as that of the Prophet. He said, you have done well. Perform the tawaf of the Kaaba and the Sa'i, between as-Safa and al-Marwa, and then finish the ihram. So, I performed the tawaf around the Kaaba and the Sa'i, between as-Safa and al-Marwa, and then went to a woman of the tribe of Kay who cleaned my head from lice. Later I assumed the ihram for Hajj. I used to give the verdict of doing the same till the caliphate of Umar, who said, if you follow the holy book then it orders you to remain in the state of ihram till you finish from Hajj. If you follow the Prophet then he did not finish his ihram till the hadi, sacrifice, had reached its place of slaughtering, Hajj al-Qiran.